Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavakai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane, Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhaktum Subodha Vedantam Pravruto Hyabudopyaham Kripaya Yasya Tam Vande Shri Ganesham Punah Punah Vande Saraswatim Devim Sadgurum Me Mahamatim Sita Sameta Shri Ramam Yachantu Subhadam Matim Pramana Buddhir Vedante Pramana Buddhir Vedante Brahma Sadbhava Nishchaye Brahma Sadbhava Nishchaye Sadgurur Brahma Nishtatve Sadgurur Brahma Nishtatve Swatmana Karma Samartye Svatmanah karma samartye sadhane guruna prokte sadhane guruna prokte vishwasa pajanam tata vishwasa pajanam tata evam panchavida shraddha
Evam panchita shraddha bhavati shraddha bhaktida bhutesha satmukta.
Okay, so the topic now is the topic of faith, Panchada Shraddha. And here it is given us 5 different types of faith, and this is what we've been looking at. And so far we have seen, I think 2 of them are covered. Karma Samartya, faith in oneself, and Pramana Buddhi Vedante, faith in Shastra, essentially. That we saw 2 weeks ago. Last week, of course, we had the seminar on reincarnation. Now let's look at the other ones. The other 3 types of faith: Brahma Sadbhava Nishchaye, faith in the existence of the infinite. And then next one, Sadguru Brahmanishtatve, faith that the Sadguru is enlightened. And last one, faith in Sadhane Guruna Prokte, faith in the sadhana practice, so spiritual exercises prescribed by the Guru, the Sadguru. Okay, so first 2 we've seen. Now let's look at the next one. Brahma Sadbhava Nishchaye, that the infinite exists. And this actually we have seen before when we were looking at the topic of God, that we said, what is the definition of God? Really, God, that from which the entire universe has come. Yeah, that from which the entire universe has come, that is called the infinite. That's called Brahman. Yeah. Ito va imani bhutani jayante. So that from which the entire universe has come, tad vijñāsva, tad Brahma. That is Brahman. So we saw this last time, that the world and universe is an effect, and every effect must have a cause. And therefore, the cause of the finite cannot be another finite. The cause of the finite eventually has to be infinite. Otherwise, it just keeps on going back endlessly. So, this much we'll say about that because we covered that topic. Sadguru Brahmanishtatve. Now, faith that the Sadguru is realized. Now, this is an interesting topic, and also we have looked into Guru before. We have seen the need for a Guru on this path, that because our goal is essentially to overcome our ego. Our goal is to overcome our ego. Therefore, our self-help, our self-effort will never be sufficient. Because self-effort is guided by ego. And I think we gave the example of the thief in the village who then becomes in charge of the inquiry into the crime. Yeah. So he becomes in charge of the investigation. So if there is a thief and he is in charge of the investigation, we will never find the truth. If we leave the ego in charge of this project called moksha, you will never get moksha. Why? Because moksha means dissolving the ego. Yeah. So because I have to dissolve the ego and I put him in charge of the whole campaign, he's not going to work for his own redundancy. So therefore, this doesn't work. So now if ego is not in charge, who will have to be in charge? Someone who hasn't got ego. Okay, so someone who's free of ego could only be in charge of the guide, and that person is called Sadguru. So that person who is free of ego and you feel deeply connected to as a teacher, that becomes Sadguru. Okay. Now in our culture, the word guru is almost used for anyone and everyone. Because guru can mean teacher. Gukaras andakarascha rukaras teja uchyate. One who removes the darkness of ignorance can be called guru. But now there are different types of gurus are there. Yeah. So Guruji also mentioned this in his Guru Padaka Stotram, and it's given from Guru Gita. Different types of teachers are there in our life, and all of them hold different position, and the position of Sadguru is very different. It's very different. It's very unique. Okay. So we have gurus. Guruji first starts by saying, first guru is mother and father. Okay. They teach you how to eat. They teach you how to walk. They teach you how to function. So mother, father become Adi Guru, first guru. Then he says we go to school and we learn sciences. So then you have the science, science, maths, all these subjects, these worldly subjects. So that's another type of guru. There's a Shastra guru. Shastra means science. Then you have, now this we sometimes don't have anymore, but there was supposed to be dharma gurus. Gurus that taught you how to behave, how to conduct yourself. What is dharma? Yeah, culture and customs. Huh? They call dharma guru. Now to an extent, that's what our Bhavya teachers and all that are trying to do, is to be the dharma guru for the children, to teach them what are customs, what are cultures. Yeah. To some extent, parents pick that up, but then even that has kind of been lost to an extent. So they're called dharma guru. And then, of course, you will have other types of guru, art, music, dance, kala gurus. These are gurus in various different kalas. Kala means these different extracurricular type of activities that are there. And then you have spiritual guru. Okay, that guru who is there to guide you to moksha. To guide you to moksha. So now you see already, all the other ones are based with worldly sciences and worldly things. And now we have the spiritual teacher that is going to take me to moksha. Now, even in this path of spirituality, Guruji gives 3 different types of teachers. He says one is called Preraka. Preraka Guru is the one who inspires you. Sometimes you meet someone and they inspire you to get onto the spiritual path. You get very inspired by them. It's called Preraka Guru. Then you might meet a very skilled teacher, someone who's very good at teaching Shastra. That is called Bodhaka Guru. Bodhaka Guru. And then if we are lucky enough, we will come in contact with Satguru. And Satguru is one who has not only can teach, but actually established in that reality. So is established in that truth, in moksha, and teaches from that standpoint. So even spiritual path, these 3 are there. Now, it's not that everyone will get in contact with Sadguru. Even to get in contact with Sadguru, that is a great blessing, great bhagyam has taken place in our life. Now we know with YouTube, so many different teachers out there. So lots of Preraka Bodhaka is there. But Sadguru, how can we recognize Sadguru? I cannot recognize Sadguru by some stamp on his face or certificate of qualification that I am now Sadguru, therefore. There is no such thing. It is entirely, your personal connection with that individual. And you have to some extent live with that person. You have to spend a lot of time with that person. Because then you will see Sthita Prajna, their steady wisdom, that they don't react to situations, that they are very detached. They don't have any agendas. Akamahataha, they don't have any addictions, they don't have any strong desires for things. So the only way we will come to kind of know that is when we start living. When we start living on this path, then what happens is, as we evolve and grow, then the universe, total mind, Bhagavan then says, this Shishya is now very fit. He needs Sadguru. See, whether you get Sadguru or not will depend upon your fitness. That means how advanced you are in your own spiritual progress. Sometimes Bhagavan said, this person is not that fascinated, so give Preraka Guru. Give someone who's very motivational, come on, get them excited. So you get motivational Guru. And then sometimes the person, is a bit more interested, wants to study more. Yeah. And so therefore you get Bodhaka Guru. But when person has very strong Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, then Sadguru will come. And not just Sadguru will come, they will recognize that Sadguru and be very fascinated with being connected to that Sadguru. There are many Sadgurus around, but sometimes we don't have fascination to be connected to them, or we are scared to talk to them, or we are inhibited to meet them. So that yearning is not strong enough at that time. But when Gurudev was there, Gurudev was a Sadguru. He was established only. But not everyone was super fascinated with being around him. Yeah? He was Sadguru, but the disciples or Shishyas or members or whoever they weren't always very interested in being so intimately connected with him. That interest will depend upon their advancement. As you advance more in your spiritual field, then this Sadguru relationship with Sadguru becomes more meaningful. So it's very much up to the individual. It's very much up to the individual. First of all, no one can go around claiming they are Sadguru. You cannot do that. Because entirely it will depend upon the readiness of the student, fitness of the student, and willingness of student to really spend time and almost live with that person or be very closely connected to that person. Then you will come to see. Then your faith and Shraddha will be, this person is Sadguru. And cannot explain it. It's a heart-to-heart thing. This person is realized, but that's it. Once we have taken Sadguru, then we must keep our faith that Sadguru is enlightened. Because sometimes faith can waver. At some point in time we feel connected, and at some point in time doubts kick up. Now, why this is important is because as seekers, we are still coming with our preconceived notions. We've all got our preconceived ideas of right and wrong, and what will bring me success. What is success and what will give me that success? Yeah. So as seekers, now if you just look at these four concepts, right, wrong, what will give me success, and what is success? You look at these four concepts. Yeah. A lot of times we will actually connect right and wrong to what brings me success. Because our fascination is with success, actually. We are fascinated with some form of success. And if you ask, what is that success? Even sometimes we don't know how to define that. But deep in our mind, there is a definition that we have got. Deep in our mind. Yeah. In our subconscious, all of us have got some definition of success. And it may be simple as money. It may be as simple as name, position. It could be a certain position you want. It could be a certain lifestyle you want. It could be a certain amount of money you want. That could be success. I think most of us grow up with this definition only. Yeah. That if you can buy a fancy house, fancy car, travel overseas, have a good wealth, secure job, happy family, 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl, nice balance, then this is all success. Yeah. Now, this definition, once I have this definition, then whatever gives me that, I become convinced that this is the path to success. Yeah. This is the path. Now, for some people, they've studied very hard. So they believe in studying very hard, working very hard. That has brought them their success. So their, fundamental belief in life becomes work hard and you will get success. This is what we tell children, work hard. But some people, as they get older, they start realizing, sometimes you do all this work, but actually it's who you know that's important. As you get older, it's who you're networked with. Because as you get into certain jobs, as you go higher and higher up, then they start realizing you should know certain people. And if you know certain people, like some political influence is there, you can get things done. Like if I want to build a big, what Trump Tower, not that I want to build one, but they say you want to build something like that. Now, to build this huge building or get your business permit, who you need to know? You have to go to local council. And if you have all those councillors in your pocket, you can get your permit quickly passed. And this does happen. This is how things work. When you get to this level, it is how things work. That if you know the Devata, the politician of that area, then you propitiate that Devata, then you get certain blessings. This is how things work. And just having an application form and sending it in doesn't always work. You have to have some political connection. So as you start rising in the success that you want, people start thinking, it's not just hard work. You can't just sit in a corner and study and study and study and then do all your applications and fill out all your forms. You have to be connected to certain people. So that some people have a belief that it's not so much what they say, you don't need to work hard. What do they say? You need to work smart. People have this type of saying, work smart, don't work hard. Now you see how people's beliefs are changing as to what brings their success. Initially we thought work hard. Now we say work smart. I don't know what work smart means, because to me being smart is hard anyway. So to me it's the same thing, because some people think being smart and working hard is different. To be smart is very hard work. You have to think all the time. So actually, it's the same thing only. But some people like saying, work smart, don't work hard. That's why we like all these crash courses, all these little things that you, and I'm sure everyone is on YouTube looking for some way to stay in shape, and then everyone will say, just do this 7 minutes a day, finished. You will have abs that are rock hard or something like that. You know what I mean? You'll be in shape. So then, 7 minutes a day. Oh, I can spare that. Yeah. There's so many gimmicks like this out there. And they capture our attention because we think, oh, yeah, don't need to do hard work. It just works smart, not hard. So our concept then changes. Now what happens is, when my success is defined by a certain thing, my path to success becomes my belief. I really invest in that belief that this is the way to get success. And what I start doing is skewing my concepts of right and wrong according to the path. My concepts of right and wrong will start changing, because anything that strengthens, fortifies, or advances me on my path to success, we generally start calling as right. And anything which deviates me from my path of success, we start calling wrong. This is how our ego works. Everyone is doing it. It doesn't make us villains. This is just how the ego works. That according to what I define as success, I will create a pathway, and anything aligned to that pathway is called right, and anything opposite to that pathway is called wrong. All of us work this way. Yeah. And what does Sadguru come and do? Sadguru does, first thing he does is redefines success. And he said, your concept of success was getting here, but actually the real concept of success is getting there. Now all of a sudden what has happened? Success was not getting all my money, my name, my fame, my happy family with one boy, one girl, all these type of things. He said, no. He says success is moksha. Freedom from ego is your success. Permanent happiness is your success. Freedom from all limitations. He said, so Sadguru redefines the entire goal. And once Sadguru redefines the goal, then what all else gets redefined? Pathway gets redefined. And then also right and wrong gets redefined. You understand? Now what's going to happen is that my ego for 30, 40 years is used to going in this direction to get its success. And now I had to change direction. So this changing direction, and sometimes it's opposite. Sometimes my success was here and he said moksha was over there. So sometimes complete U-turn has to be done. This can be very challenging. This can be very challenging to the ego, and therefore the ego can react and say, I don't accept this. I don't accept this. Yeah. And when the ego reacts and says, I don't accept this, that's when you will experience some sort of doubt in that Sadguru. You will start having doubt in that Sadguru. You will have doubt over the goal, and you will have doubt over the path. And then you have doubt over what is called right and wrong. And is it really right? Do you have to do these things? And is it bad if you do these things? We always have these questions. Is it bad if I do this? Yeah. And must I really do that? Because I know it says you have to, but really do you have to? Come on. Is there a shortcut 7-minute version that you can give me? Yeah. So we are always tuned into these 7-minute versions. Yeah. That we don't want to do the hard part. So you understand it's an ego conflict. The minute you redefine your goal of success towards moksha, you will find it's very easy to be aligned with Sadguru, and you'll find you're very receptive to what that Sadguru has to say. So this is what we have to keep a check on. And if our goal in life eventually becomes moksha, then you will find that you'll be very attracted, interested, receptive, and connected to Sadguru. Yeah. If the goal is opposite direction, then you will not find this very interesting. Yeah. And that's why even though Sadguru is there waiting on this side to guide you towards moksha, but if I'm more fascinated going this direction, sometimes we don't meet, or we might meet, but then I'm going opposite direction. So I pass him, say, Hari Om Sadguru. I'm going, he said, come this way. He said, no, I will, but first I have to go here. And then when I do here and my shopping, and then when I do my shopping and I do all these house things and clean my house and do this, then I will come for satsang. These things happen. As we grow and evolve, don't worry. Eventually we'll go all the way here, finish our shopping, clean the house, and then eventually we will come back. It happens. Don't worry. Life eventually will bring you back at some point in time. Don't need to panic. Yeah. How long it takes, we don't know. Sometimes a few births, sometimes many births. It's up to you. If you want to enjoy the shopping and the cleaning the house and all these type of things, seeing all the different sides, you can do that. Take a few lifetimes off, go see everything, and then come back later on. There's no problem. There's no strict rule about how fast you need to achieve this. Entirely up to you. Okay? So this is now how faith in Sadguru, why we need it. And the main thing, as a seeker, how do you, one thing to be aware of as a seeker, and this is not just a seeker, with anyone in life, this is with anyone in life. It is easy and it is a spontaneous reaction to judge people. That is the first thing we do whenever we meet someone who thinks differently, acts differently, behaves differently, is that we judge. We judge. And this causes lots of problems. Yeah, because once you judge a person, then actually you put them in a little box and you form a very strong like or dislike towards that person. You put them in a box. Yeah, and then you either like them because they like you, or you dislike them because they're not like you. Mm-hmm. Most of the time it's disliking, because there's very few people in this world that are like us. Yeah, so most of the time it's disliking. So what should we do before judging? We have to avoid this judging. There's one thing we should do, and that's called inquire. We should always inquire. And this is how you maintain healthy relationship with anyone. This is not just with Guru, with anyone. Always inquire first. And, when you inquire, what ends up happening when you find out the reason why people do what they do, you will find that it's very hard to judge anyone. Because everyone will have a certain reason as to why they do what they do. Recently, I saw something that was very nice. I really enjoyed it. And it was a movie about a boy he had a deformity. He was born with a deformity. A lot of surgery had to be done, little boy. And he was very scared, obviously, of going outside. And he always wore this helmet, astronaut's helmet, because he didn't like people looking at him. Everyone looked at him, didn't know how to react and respond because he had some facial deformities. The movie goes through the boy now entering into school. And when he enters into school, he meets other children, and some are helpful and some bully him. He has an older sister, he has a mother, father, and the sister has a friend, all these type of things. And what the movie does is, everyone just acts in a certain way, and then certain things happen, like his friend at one point in time betrays him. And then the bullies harass him. And then his sister also, she gets a bit frustrated with him. And then the parents also are quite frustrated as well at times. So they get angry at times. And, this is a normal situation in all families that goes on. The reactions are very common and they're very normal for people just reacting. But the beauty of what this movie does is that it shows everyone's point of view. So every time a major incident happens, the movie goes back and says, now from this person's point of view, what happened? And when you go back and look at everyone's point of view, you will realize that everyone's behavior is very easy to accept. It's very easy to accept because you know from which standpoint they are coming. So one scene was with his sister. He's got an older sister. The older sister's been very loving to him and very caring and very adjusting. And one point in time, she also gets frustrated with him. And you're like, why is she frustrated with him? And because in her life, her best friend has decided to abandon her. For some reason, teenager. And then her best friend decided after some summer holidays, I'm not talking. So it just started ignoring her. So that caused stress on the sister. Then the sister took that stress out on the brother, because she was feeling very unsupported. And it was so interesting that no one's behavior at the end of it was unreasonable. You couldn't judge anyone. There was no villain. There was no one that was bad. There was actually no one that was good even. Yeah. And, this is what happens when you inquire into everyone's behavior. When you start inquiring into why people do what they do, if you make such an inquiry, then what you find is everyone has got their own reason for doing it. Yeah? And it's not necessarily a bad reason. That reason is sometimes connected to a stress, a burden, or an insecurity they are experiencing. In fact, all our behavior is operating off an insecurity. But sometimes we are not aware of our insecurities. We are not able to voice our insecurities. And therefore, others sometimes consider it to be arrogance, consider it to be maliciousness, with evil intent. I have found that I don't think anyone acts with evil intent. I think people just act out of insecurities. And it depends on what insecurity that is that you end up doing what you do. See, if I have an insecurity about myself and I want to impress someone, then in order to impress someone, I might talk myself up more than I am. Because I want to impress this person. Now, this commonly happens when children sometimes, when they don't feel they get approval from parents, then they will seek some other mentor, work person, other person somewhere that they want to impress. And so sometimes in front of that work person, the boss, they will speak, they kind of present themselves, where it kind of looks like they're boasting, or kind of looks like they're showing off, or taking credit for things they didn't do. Yeah, I'm sure we've all met people like this that we've worked with, and we're like, why are these people always taking credit for things they don't do, and talking too much about themselves? And that is driven by the fact that I am insecure about myself. I've never been approved. I've never gained approval or validation from some sort of mentor or parental figure. So when I've not got it from my parents, then I'll seek it in a mentor. And when I seek it in a mentor, it can look like public boasting. When I do it from my parents, then it can sometimes create sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry can be there. That this one is showing up too much, that they hardly do anything, but they talk so much about achieving nothing actually. And so the other siblings get very frustrated. You hardly do anything in this house, but you wash one dish and you talk about it for the entire duration of this party. Yeah, I clean the whole house, I clean this, I do everything, I say nothing. You come and just wash one thing or bring one little cake, and all of a sudden the whole attention is centered around you. All these things, all these behaviors are just based on various insecurities we have. And when you actually start to inquire and understand people, then you realize everyone has got insecurity, because that is the nature of the ego. The nature of the ego is to be insecure. That's its nature, because it's limited. Ego being limited, it's always operating under the one thought, and that thought is, I am not good enough. That's what drives the ego. The ego is driven by the notion. That's the essence of the ego. The essence of the ego is, I am not good enough. And based on that, we are then behaving in certain ways in this world. Some of us show off to the world. Have a look at us, look how great. Some of us hide from the world. Don't look at me. because I don't want you to see that I'm not good enough. People's behavior can express in different ways, but the fundamental insecurity is the same. As you come to understand people, then actually you will find that you stop judging them. You actually start having a lot of compassion for people. And you start seeing how can we help that person potentially overcome this kind of insecurity or challenge they have. Yeah. Now, all this is coming because you have to make a decision. And the decision you have with every interaction is, do I judge this person or do I try to inquire? Yeah. And if you have this mind that is more interested in inquiring, it becomes very sympathetic. So sympathetic mind will then look to inquire. And then from sympathy and inquiry, you get empathy. Empathy and sympathy are different. So sympathy is when you feel sorry for someone, but you don't fully understand them. You don't fully understand. You just feel a bit sorry that that person is in pain or hurting or agitated. But in empathy, you understand the person. You can feel what they are going through. You can deeply understand to a point that you can feel what they're happening for them. You, of course, don't get completely overwhelmed by that emotion. That's not the point. The point is you to feel what they're going through so you can respond appropriately. So this is what happens when we start inquiring. Yeah. Now, of course, now I've given this method of thinking and how it benefits in this world. The same way, when you meet a Sadguru, because Sadguru's goal is going to be different sometimes to what you have got. Doesn't have to be opposite. Sometimes your goal is just here and their goal is there. So sometimes just a little bit off. Yeah? Their definition of moksha and success. So they will prescribe a different path, and sometimes the path, the dharma, instruction can be complete opposite to what you think. And rather than judging, then we should inquire. Inquire. Prashna, we should ask questions. Yeah. And as you start inquiring and ask questions as to why did you say this? Why did you instruct that way? Why did you do this thing? Then what happens is your mind starts becoming attuned to their mind. And this is what we want. Because currently our mind is run by our ego. It's not attuned to really anyone. It might be attuned to a few people that are going in the same direction as us. But I want to get a mind which is connected and attuned to Sadguru, which means my vision then will be aligned to his or her vision, that's Sadguru. Yeah. And that's the vision I want. Because I want to see the vision of moksha. I want the vision of freedom. Yeah. I don't want this vision that I've got now of feeling burdened or trapped, or when is this COVID going to end, and oh, the cases are increasing, boo-hoo. This is my current vision. Every time turn the news on, 700 cases. And I'm thinking, oh, I can't go visit my friends. I want to go visit them. So I get upset. This is my current vision. Sadhguru's vision is different. Yeah. How to find freedom even in this situation, how to enjoy this situation. And so, inquire. As you inquire, then you will come to understand what their method of thinking is and what their goal is. Yeah. And how that goal will actually benefit you. Moksha is not a different goal to what everyone is seeking, because moksha means permanent happiness. That's what everyone wants. The problem is many of us are going in the wrong direction. That's the only problem. But actually, we all want the same thing. The Guru is just saying it's over here, but we are too busy going in that direction. The car's already going in that direction. Now to turn it around, too much work. Let's continue. Yeah. So if we keep our faith that Sadguru is Brahmanishtatve, then whatever instruction comes, we'll be able to hear it with sympathetic ears. With sympathetic ears, then inquire. Then with inquiry, eventually empathy. Empathy means you will see the world the way they see it. You will see things the way they see it. That's what we want. That's called attunement. And finally, how are they seeing the world? They are seeing the world beyond the realm of ego. They come to see the world free of ego. And when you see this world free of ego, this world is divine. Every aspect of this world is pure beauty and pure joy when you come to see it beyond the ego. But seen with the lens or filter of the ego, things I like, things I dislike. Old days when they did a 3D movie, the old 3D movies, you had to wear these paper glasses, and the glasses had one cellophane was red and one cellophane was blue. That's how the old ones used to be. Yeah. Now, I know I used to hate the red one. I hated looking things at red. Everything red, I didn't like that color. I used to like the blue one, so I'd cover one and just see blue. And so everything blue, I enjoyed it. And then you close this one, see everything red, and I didn't enjoy it. This is how the ego sees the world. One side is likes, one side is dislikes. Currently, they're kind of mixed, but every now and then we close one, we just see the world we dislike. And then close the other. When we're in a good mood, then we see the world we like. Someone says, I love you. And then you see the world you like. And then someone criticizes you and says, your job is terrible. And then you only see the world you dislike. Yeah? It doesn't take much for us to change how we see the world. It's only one comment. It's not even a comment. One person doesn't smile at us. That's enough. Yeah? And now because everyone is wearing face masks, we don't even know if they're smiling or not smiling at us or not. You go for a walk and don't know what people are thinking. Yeah? So it doesn't take much for us to change our vision. This is what the ego's vision. It's constantly looking out, these two, like or dislike. What is it like to take it off and look? When you take it off and look, so, wow, then you see things as they are. Oh, beautiful, magnificent. You come to see all the different colors. That things aren't all red and things aren't all blue. But there's green, there's yellow, all different shades of pink and orange, everything. I say, wow, that's very beautiful. Same way, Satguru is seeing the world from that standpoint. And he's asking us, just take the glasses off. But sometimes we love these glasses so much. We say, no. I paid so much for the glasses. Don't ask me to take them off, please. I want to keep them. And lots of money I put into these glasses. Yeah. And I've even made little prayers for my children and my husband and everything. And now you're asking me to take, no, please. So sometimes there's a little bit of, it's a challenge. Keep faith. If you keep your faith, these things become easy, okay? Okay. So now we've looked at faith in Satguru. We've seen why, we've seen what, and we've seen how. How, the main thing is, inquire, don't judge. Okay. Now, last one, sadhane guru na prokte. That'll be connected to this. When I have a Satguru, and then that Satguru, I should ask, what question should I ask? What sadhana should I do? This is the question we should ask. Sadhana is a spiritual practice. What spiritual practice should I take up? This is a question we should ask the Sadguru. In Shastra, there are many different spiritual practices. Yajna, dana, tapas, japa, upasana, all many different things are there. The biggest question is, which one should I do? Which one should I do? And when you have a Sadguru and you are attuned to that Sadguru, that means that Sadguru has spent time, you spend time with the Sadguru, they understand your mind. And to do that, you have to do seva. Yeah. So when you do seva for a Sadguru, then he comes to see how your mind works. And when he sees how your mind works, then he prescribes sadhana according to you. The sadhana becomes very individual, actually. It's very individual. That's why when Gurudev went to study under Tapovanji Maharaj, he was not allowed to be taught for the first month. First month, he thought he would come and start teaching first day. Nothing. First month, Gurudev had to grow, what do you call it? This flower patch of flowers. Now, if you go to Himalayas, if you go to Uttarakanshi, where he lived, Tapoji Maharaj, on the side of a mountain. Side of a mountain, everything is rocks only. So to grow a flower bed on the side of a mountain is almost impossible task. Right? But every day, and then Gurudev first asked, he said, how are we going to do this? Where will I get water from? And Tapoji Maharaj said, at the bottom here is the river Ganga. You go down there carrying a bucket of water all the way up. So every day he had to go, okay, one bucket of water. I think the bucket had a hole half the time, the water just came out of it. And he said, Chinmaya, it would be very nice if we have some flowers here. So he made Gurudev build a flower garden. Only after 1 month of building flower garden, he said, now I'll teach you. And the reason he did that is because you see, how does this one work? Because from how he works and serves, I'll see how his mind operates. And then according to how his mind operates, I will teach him accordingly. This is called attunement. This is called attunement. And therefore, when we serve Guru, our purpose is to get attuned. When you get attuned, then Guru comes to see how you operate. Then Guru can prescribe the best sadhana for you. Yeah, best sadhana for you. Most appropriate, most effective. Yeah. Now think of it this way. Many people are enrolled in gyms and have what's called personal trainer. Now, when you go to a gym has got all the equipment there. Now, with all the different equipment, the question is, which one am I supposed to do? We don't know. That's why we get personal trainer. And then personal trainer will do what? They come here, take your weight, take your height, pinch you here, pinch you there, see how much fat, where the fat in your body is hanging around. He'll do all these type of funny things and say, oh, the fat sits over here, and then a weakness over there, and then make you bend over here, and then push you over there, and say, weak back, low, bad core. You have no core strength. Core strength. You must have more core strength. Everything is core strength. Yeah. And then, according to your body type, they'll set up a program. Yeah. So according to your body type, program is set up. Then when that personal trainer sets up that program, you should follow that. You should follow that. Because they understand your body type. Same way Sadguru understands your mind. So when he sets sadhana, which is your exercise program, you should follow that sadhana. You know? And that sadhana you should take as called anushtana. You should take that as your daily sadhana. You should not break that. And yes, you will listen to other things. You get inspired by other messages. There's no problem with that. But don't give up your anushtana. If you want to take up other sadhana, you take them on top of this. Actually, if you're a Sadguru, you should always ask that Sadguru, should I take this up? Then they say yes or no, and then you should take up accordingly. Yeah? That's a very close relationship. You will do that. Yeah? Okay. So in this way, you get a customized spiritual exercise program. That's what this sadhana is. Customized spiritual exercise program for you. Follow that sadhana. Don't look at other people and say, oh, but they don't need to do so much japa. How come I have to do so much? Don't worry. Their mind is different. For them, they do different things. For you, you do this. Huh? Okay. So sadhana guru na prokte vishwasa palanam. Oh. So now 5 different types of faith have been given. Okay? This way, Panchada Shraddha. Now, if anyone has any questions, you can ask a question. Put your hand up, I can answer the question now. Because next topic, it's kind of all connected together. I don't know if I should just end the class now. Give me 1 minute. Somebody had sent an email with a question on it. I'll just have a quick look at it's there. No. No, it's not there. There is no question on this. Okay. Okay, we will start the next topic. Next 3 verses actually go together. Yeah, 3 verses.
साध्यते साधनेनैव साध्यते साधनेनैव साध्यं किमपि केनचित् साध्यं किमपि केनचित् अप्राप्तस्य हि प्राप्त्यर्थम् अप्राप्तस्य हि प्राप्त्यर्थम् ज्ञानं कर्म च साधनम् ज्ञानं कर्म च साधनम् अविद्यया चेदप्राप्तम् अविद्यया चेदप्राप्तम् तर्हि ज्ञानं हि साधनम् तर्हि ज्ञानं हि साधनम् प्रमाणतो विचारेण प्रमाणतो विचारेण ज्ञानं सञ्जायते स्फुटम् ज्ञानं सञ्जायते स्फुटम् श्रवणं मननं ध्यानं श्रवणं मननं ध्यानं वेदान्तस्तैव साधनं वेदान्तस्तैव साधनं प्रोच्यते स्वात्मलाभार्थं प्रोच्यते स्वात्मलाभार्थं मुख्यतस्तु गुरो कृपा मुख्यतस्तु गुरो कृपा.
We were talking about sadhana. So sadhana is the means, the pathway. Sadhya is the goal. Okay? So here it's talking about what is the path and what is the goal and how they must be connected. So it does connect to what we have been discussing. Now if we look at it, it says, anyone can attain any goal by the right means alone. In order to gain something which is unattained, the method are knowledge and action. Okay? So now in our life, there are 2 different goals or 2 different type of acquisitions. There are acquisition of something which I don't have. It is called apraptasya praptihi. Prapta means gain. Apraptasya, not I don't have it. Of that which I don't have, I want to go get. Yeah. So simple thing is food. If you don't have food in your house, yeah, then you have to go out and get it. You don't have money, you have to go out and get it. Yeah. So many things. All our worldly goals in life, all worldly goals will be of this nature. Apraptasya praptihi. Things we don't have, which we are going out to seek. However, there's another type of goal, and that is called praptasya praptihi. That means something which you already have but cannot recognize it. It's already there, but you can't recognize. So 2 different types of goals. One, I don't have and I want to get. The other one, I have, but I can't recognize. So this one I have, praptasya. This one I don't have, apraptasya. So these are the 2 goals. Now for each one of these, different method has to be employed. Okay. Now when I have to go get something which I don't have, the path you have to follow is the path of karma, action. You have to follow the path of action. He says jnanam and karma. You need some knowledge as to how to get that and where it is. And then you must do action. If you don't do action, you don't get it. Yeah. So example, I need to get rice, or I need to get some cereal, some food, milk, bread. And that's what I need. Now, do I have it with me? No, I don't have milk and bread with me. Yeah. Then I have to ask question, where are they? The supermarket. Then I have to find out which supermarket is there and can I even go there because of all the restrictions and the COVID. Is it in the same suburb? I don't know. So you have to make all this is your thinking. Where is the supermarket? Is it in the right place? Because some people are traveling 40 kilometers to get bread from another place. And then now they are saying, no, you shouldn't travel 40 kilometers to get milk and bread from another suburb. Stay in your own suburb and buy the local milk and bread. Okay. So that's all knowledge. You have to get on your Google and you look up. Baker's Delight near me. Ding, you put that in there. Or Coles near me. And then it says all the things. That's jnanam. Now, when your phone then tells you nearest Coles, is that enough? By knowing, is it enough to get your bread? That the phone has now told you the nearest Coles is 3 kilometers away. Do you have? No, you don't. Now you have to do karma. You have to go and do it. You have to get out, get into your car, take your face mask. Don't forget your face mask. Then go into your car, drive, yeah, and then come back, pick it up. That's jnanam and karma. And then what happens? I get that which is unattained. Now, there's another type of goal, and that is the goal of something you already have, but you cannot recognize. You are failing to see it. And this is where moksha falls into this category. Moksha falls into the category of that which is already with you, but you fail to recognize. Now, for something that is already with me and I fail to recognize, what is the method? Only one thing is required, and that is called jnanam. Only jnanam. Karma not needed. Karma is not needed. Now, I'll give example. The example, I don't have them here, but you know, people who wear glasses. And when you wear glasses, sometimes you only wear them for seeing distances. When you only wear them for distance, and someone gives a book in front of you to read, then what do? Shrink, the glass goes on top of your head. You put it up here, yeah? And then you read, then you give the book back. And then after some time, where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? And then you're looking for your glasses. Now, where are the glasses sitting? On your head. Glasses are on your head. But what happened? Forgot. Fail to recognize. Failure to recognize. And what do? You run around the house. Now, running around the house and looking in every room and then yelling at children also is a part of that. Yelling at spouse is part of that. Yelling at various other people connected to you is all part of that karma. This karma is a waste of time. Why? Because it's sitting on your head. Yeah, sitting on your head. The example in Shastra they give is Swakanta Bharanam Yada. Like the gold chain that is sitting on that person's neck, but they're looking for their jewelry. Where's the jewelry? Sometimes earrings, I think people do this with earrings. They're hunting around for that earring and sitting in their ear. Yeah, or bindi. Maybe bindi also is one. On their head, but looking for where the bindi is. Yeah. And so, I think nowadays, even phone, maybe the phone is on you, but you're looking everywhere for the phone, but it's sitting in your pocket. So in these ways, this is called acquiring something which you already have. To acquire something which you already have, karma is not needed. All you need is knowledge. You need to recognize it. Now, what is the nature of moksha? Moksha is permanent. Moksha is all-pervasive. Anything that is permanent and infinite means it's all-pervasive. If it's all-pervasive, what does it mean? It is here and it is now. Moksha is here and now. Then why am I not experiencing it? Failure to recognize. Just like the glasses are sitting on top of my head, but failure to recognize. Now, what do you need when the glasses are sitting on top of your head and you're screaming? Somebody has to come up to you and say, hey, on top of your head, stop yelling at everyone. And then you say, oh. Now, when they point to their head, if you don't understand their instruction properly, you will sit there and think they're insulting you because you're stupid or something. Now, that's not what they're trying to say. They're trying to say it's on your head. And only when you understand their instruction properly, then you go, oh, on my head. Same thing. Moksha is with us. It is here, it is now. But we need Guru to sit there and say, hey, why are you running here, running there? The happiness you are looking for is with you. It is with you. Tat Tvamasi. But then you should understand that Tat Tvamasi. If you misunderstand it, then you'll end up going somewhere else. Therefore, to acquire, to gain this acquisition, which is already with you, knowledge is all that's required, but you must have proper understanding of that knowledge. Yeah, and proper understanding of that knowledge will require Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. To hear it, to reflect over it, and then to meditate upon it. Yeah, so it becomes clear. It should become clear. Actually, knowledge is very straightforward. The problem is that we have so many confusions in our head that we have to remove those confusions. Then knowledge just is very straightforward. Sun is shining, but if you have got a deck with a patio and a roof, then even when you sit outside, you're still not in direct contact with the sun because there's an obstacle. Therefore, this Shravana, Manana, Nidhi, this Manana, Nididhyasana are only to remove the obstacle. Shravana by itself is enough. Yeah, that we'll look at later, more detail. Now here the point is, two different types of goals, therefore different types of means. Sadhya, sadhana. If I want something which is outside, then I must use karma to get it. And if I want something which is already with me, then only need to use jnana. Yeah. Now, interesting thing. I said moksha is apraptasya praptihi. Something which you already have. So praptasya praptihi. Something which you already have and cannot recognize. Do you know there's another big thing in life which falls into this category? Very big thing which we are all hunting for. Maybe moksha we're not that interested in. But there's another thing in life which we are all hunting for, which also falls under this category. Anyone know what it is? You can put your hand up and say if you know. Chocolate? No. Chocolate you have to go out and get.
Happiness?
Who said? Sasi.
Yes.
Sasi?
Happiness.
Sasi says happiness. Okay. Anyone else?
Peace.
Sriram? What?
Love.
Love. Love. Love and happiness, similar thing, but we say love is a bit different. Love, if you see, actually we have got a lot of people have already loved us. A lot of people have filled us with love. A lot of people do love us right now. But we always feel a bit empty. But actually, our life is surrounded by a lot of love. Failure to recognize it. What is failure to recognize it called? It is called ingratitude. And that's why everyone likes gratitude sadhana. Why gratitude sadhana? What is gratitude sadhana? Gratitude sadhana is purely jnanam, purely knowledge. It is pure knowledge only because you sit there and reflect over all the wonderful things you already have in your life. They call gratitude. Everyone is very fond of gratitude. Gratitude is a jnana sadhana. There's no karma involved. You don't have to do anything. You just have to recognize that which is already with you. Love is a big one. In our life, we are constantly grabbing the people around us and squeezing them. You know how you get like that damp cloth and you squeeze it till everything comes out. Squeezing till every juice comes out. Sometimes, people used to, now I don't think we do it anymore, but they used to squeeze the oranges, When you squeeze oranges, you want to, every part of the orange you want to get out, squeeze it. When we feel we don't have love, this is what we do to our family. We take them, put them in the orange thing, we squeeze them. And they say, we already love you so much. Didn't we say that yesterday? We said it today. How many times do we have to say it? Love is a big thing that we are, in general, most people are showered with love. Whether you come from a good family background, whether you're married in a happy family life, brothers and sisters, cousins, all these type of things, people that care about us, we have all these things. You belong to a community, all these, they're there, but we keep waking up every day not loved, feeling a bit empty. Yeah. And even if all these things you may not have, maybe some rare individual doesn't have, then God loves you. Love of God is always there. Yeah. But actually, I tell you, you don't even need to go love of God. Love of people is plenty. There is a lot of love. We can't recognize it. We spend too much time criticizing, judging, feeling empty. Even I just think if you live in this country itself, so many benefits that this government will give you. Now you just look at how the government is handling COVID versus other countries. And sometimes I feel like what they complain about on the news, I'm like, if you've gone to other countries, there is no such thing as payouts. There's no such thing as this, what do you call it, job seekers grant. There's no such thing as any of these things. It's just like if you lose your job, bad luck, you figure yourself out. And here you can get free COVID testing, and we are still upset with free COVID testing. Why the result isn't coming within 24 hours? Because how much, lack of gratitude we can have. Other countries, there is no free testing. There is no testing. And if you have it, just go sit by yourself and figure yourself out. Yeah, we're not going to sit there and look after you. Yeah. And here, so many facilities are there, so many amenities are there, but still we can complain. Yeah. So whether it's a government that is looking after you, but people, we have so many people looking after us, caring for us, inquiring into us, concerned about us. If you just recognize that, you can feel so much love. So this is a method of thinking. Our method of thinking is such that we should start inquiring into that which is already there, rather than saying it's not there. Thinking it's not there and then running around trying to get it. Like I said, that person whose glasses are sitting on top of their head, when they're running around the house screaming at everyone saying, where are my glasses? What does the rest of the world do? It's a mad person only. Isn't it? Pagal. This person is mad only. And then we can't help you. Why? Because what you want is with you. And as much as we tell you, you're not listening. You continue running. So continue running around. Same thing. Sometimes families say, we are giving you so much love and attention. You're running around saying not enough love. We sometimes may be pagal, what to do. So we have to recognize. You practice this as a sadhana this week, as a sadhana. Just recognize how much the world loves you. Every aspect. You should go to friends, family, work, colleagues, understanding boss, obviously your immediate family, extended family. You can even just look at the universe and how much the universe is able to show its love towards you. Do this. This develops the mindset of recognizing what you already have. This is the mindset we need for moksha, to recognize what we already have. So this week, you do that. You have to write down how I am loved by everyone. How everyone loves me. Okay? You write that down. Try that down. And don't say, Swamiji, no one loves me. That's a problem. Don't say that. You can find somebody else on this group here and call them up. And then you can have a chat with them. And then they'll say, yes, we like you. We like seeing you every week. See, someone will be there. Okay. Good. We can now close our class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri